where all I knew was that I was gay because Ellen DeGeneres was also gay, and that made sense to me. I did not know the word transgender. I had no idea what I would become, or what I could become, and these words, they matter. So let's look at some words. I call this social algebra. We do this equation all the time. For instance, me, I'm standing here, my gender, in this transitive property, right? This transitive equation. I'm standing here looking like a dude, right? So we imagine that what's in my pants is what's in my pants. What's hormones I have, or what hormones I have X's and Y's floating all through my blood. And that because we live in a world where everything is heterosexual until proven innocent, that I must be a straight guy. Although I don't get many people thinking I'm a straight guy, which is fine with me. All of these terms have a lot of values associated with them. They are predicated on our opinions of disability, ethnicity, environment, religion, moment in time, culture, age, educational access, body size, place, race, economic class. There are as many definitions of sex, gender, and sexuality as there are people in this room. I'm willing to bet. I identify as a female to male transsexual with a transgender queer identity. Hi. These are some words that you may have heard that describe sex. Female, male, intersex. Intersex is a word that you may have also heard referred to as hermaphrodite. This is not an okay term to use. People who are intersex call themselves intersex, and that is what we respect, right? It is a condition where your chromosomes, your hormones, or your physical sex characteristics are different from males and females. And then there's transsexuals. Let's talk about moment in time. Some people tell me that I am oppressing myself by calling me transsexual. I just like the precision of it. I'm telling you that I am a female to male, right? I have gone from female to male, changing my sex characteristics with hormones and surgery. There are male to female, female to male, one way or the other. But you don't have to have surgery. You don't have to use hormones to be trans, because trans is about gender, and gender is about culture, society, and personhood, right? In the culture, it's an expectation of a role you're going to take. Socially, it's a presentation or a performance. Remember, I showed up. Look, I'm a white guy, right? So you're either really into what I'm saying, or you're kind of suspicious of what I'm saying, or you're not really sure, right? It's your perception and my performance. Does that make sense? And the deal is, I know what my identity is, whether or not you see it. So, I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. There's transgender, like me, and cisgender, like many of you. Cis meaning same, meaning that your sex and your gender match up. Cisgender people are not normal people, they are just common people. Here are some other words that we've heard to describe gender. Man, woman, boy, girl, androgynous, metrosexual, butch, femme, tomboy, sissy. I'll give you another word that showed up about 8 years ago, genderqueer. This is an oppositional term, right? It's a term that says, I'm not going to go into any box you've made for me, thank you very much, enjoy the spectacle. My moonshot is to end gender. We're living proof of how what you see doesn't have to be what you get. How sex does not have to equal destiny. How you can change and change and change again, and that is a rich life history, not something to be feared or marginalized. I think about the way that in our culture we tisk and tut over other cultures where women have to pray in other spaces or eat in other rooms, and I think to myself, in our Western, colonial, secular culture, we just do that in our minds to one another. We create these invisible walls to slam up against, to keep people out, to box ourselves in. So ending gender would mean tearing all of those down. But I'm not necessarily advocating for revolution here. I mean, it could just be as simple as painting your toes, guys. You know? Ending gender would look like, well, it would look like getting to the root of what gender is. Isn't gender just a cry for beauty?